Yo, what's up? So those who are familiar with this channel's lore should know that I'm a Gator fan, and lately watching the Florida Gators and Billy Napier get delay of game calls after kickoffs have made me miss the old days of Florida football, when we had the 6'5" white Bronco Kyle Trask behind center. Don't get it twisted, I love watching Billy Napier fumble games as much as the next lad. The Oakland Athletics had Moneyball, the Florida Gators had Billy Ball. Love it or hate it, that's our reality. And listen, Gator Nation, don't kill me. Even with me saying all of that, I still kinda like Napier and think he should at least get one more year to coach. Let me know down below how y'all feel about that. Anyway, yeah, I decided to make a video taking a look at Kyle Trask's legendary 2019 season. These videos take a while to make, so a like and a sub would be appreciated. Anyway, let's take a look at how a backup quarterback took over the swamp. So before we get into this magical 2019 season that Kyle Trask had, we have to first figure out how the best Florida quarterback since Tim Tebow found his way to the swamp. Being born in Manville, Texas, Kyle Trask would, who guess it, attend Manville High School. And I'm sure if you're familiar with the Florida Gators program, you've heard this story, and if not, let me tell you. So while attending Manville High School, Kyle Trask only started while playing junior varsity as a freshman. For the rest of his varsity high school football career, he would never start again, which is insane to think about because he somehow ended up playing ball at a pretty prestigious college that turns down some of the best four-year high school starters in the country.
He glazing, look, he glazing.
Yes, it's true, Kyle Trask wasn't starting on his varsity squad, but it wasn't because he wasn't a good quarterback, but actually it was quite the opposite. He just happened to be backing up one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, that being the 56th best player in the state of Texas according to 247 Sports during the 2015 recruiting cycle, D'Eriq King, who to be fair to Kyle Trask was one of the most explosive quarterbacks college football has ever seen, so it's not hard to see why he didn't get a chance to start in high school. But with that being said, he could have easily gone to another high school and got some playing time. Come on, we all know that dude who went to like 4 different high schools chasing their sports dreams, doing whatever they could to get more playing time so they could hopefully get a scholarship. So to me, it shows a lot about Kyle Trask's character that he stayed and waited for his opportunity, even though it really never came. But his coaches would reward his loyalty. As one of their coaches in an article written by Scott Cater would say, "We got in situations where every 3rd or 4th series we had to find a way to get Kyle on the field and get him some throws and get him some tape to get his school paid for," Crumdy said. And Florida finally took a chance. It was a difficult sell when college coaches came to town to watch King and other members of the school. Martin and his staff pushed them towards Trask. Inevitably, the coaches would tell them they couldn't waste a scholarship on a backup high school quarterback. They didn't want to get fired. Former University of Florida offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier listened to their pitch and told them to get Trask to a camp at Florida. They did, and Trask did the rest, attending 2 Florida camps and convincing the Gators to bring him in as an early enrollee in the spring of 2016 with Felipe Franks. That's how Trask got to Florida, but he would still be a long way from getting his chance to shine in the spotlight, as in his first season at Florida he would be redshirted, which is normal, but unfortunately the following year in 2017, Kyle Trask would suffer an injury, a tough blow because Kyle had a legit shot to battle with Felipe Franks for the starting job, but the football gods had other plans. Coming into 2018, Kyle would finally get some burn late in the season, playing in 4 games total and passing for 162 yards with a touchdown in backup duties. Kyle was finally getting his opportunity. I remember at the time a lot of the Gator fan base was fed up with Felipe Franks and his antics, as some people might have forgot, but the 2018 season was the year Felipe would do the hush emote to his own fans after scoring a touchdown. Point is, Kyle had a prime opportunity to take the job, but sadly he would be injured again during practice and have to miss the rest of the season in valuable live game reps. With Kyle Trask down for the Gators' last 3 remaining regular season games, it gave Felipe Franks another shot to win back the team and regain the coaching staff's trust. And to his credit, he came through as he would lead the Gators to 3 straight victories, and in those games he would throw for just shy of 700 yards. Don't ask me how, because I remember being just as shocked as everyone else, but with 3 losses, the Gators were still ranked somehow in the top 10 and managed to make a New Year's 6 bowl game, more specifically the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl against the 7th ranked Michigan Wolverines. Long story short, the Gators would destroy a heavily depleted Wolverine squad 41-15, and once again to Felipe Franks' credit, he would finish the season off strong, as against Michigan, he would throw for 173 yards with a touchdown, and on the ground he would add 74 rushing yards with a touchdown as well. So it was safe to assume it would be Franks' job to lose next season. Coming into the 2019 season, the Florida Gators had a lot of hype surrounding their squad, and expectations were high in Gainesville, as a lot of fans, including myself, felt very strongly about how Felipe Franks had finished the 2018 season off, and were expecting him to take a giant step forward. Florida was coming into the year ranked 8th in the country, and predicted to compete for the SEC East title with Georgia, and would have all eyes on them as they were playing in the kickoff game of the season against the Miami Hurricanes. The matchup versus the Canes was a stressful one for Gators fans, as the game would go back and forth all the way up until late in the game, when Florida would finally pull away, winning 24-10. Felipe Franks played decent. He threw for 254 yards with 2 touchdowns, but also had 2 interceptions and lost a fumble, turning the ball over 3 times this game. So there was definitely a lot of room for improvement. And you're probably wondering, where the hell is Kyle Trask? Well, he was still on the bench, but don't worry, we'll be getting to him very soon. After the win against the Canes, Florida would host the Give Me game against the powerhouse UT Martin Skyhawks, winning 45-0. And once again, Felipe Franks played pretty well, going 25-27 with 270 yards with 2 touchdowns. Now 2-0 and ranked 9th in the country, Florida was headed to the birthplace of bourbon, Kentucky, to face the Wildcats in a revenge game, and also in the game that would be the coming out party for the kid from Texas.
2nd and goal from the 15. Franks to throw for it. Got a man wide open. It's caught. Touchdown. Here's some Florida pressure. Smith gets it away. Ahmad Wagner couldn't pull it down. There's a penalty marker. Touchdown. I beg your pardon. Second down and goal. Under center was Smith. Touchdown. Interception the last time down the field. Up 4, looking for more. Smith lofts one, back shoulder, it is caught. Gonna throw for it. Franks from behind, he's bent over backwards by Calvin Taylor. Lucky to hang on to the football, and the Gators turn it over on downs. And Franks is hurt in obvious pain. You could see he got bent over backwards.
Down 21-10 late in the third quarter on a 4th and 1, Felipe Franks would attempt to scramble for a first down after the pocket would collapse, and sadly would get tackled in a weird way, causing him to break and dislocate his ankle. And I watched this happen live, and it was truly heartbreaking to see, because you don't want to see any player get hurt, especially this gruesome. And if it wasn't clear from watching him being tackled, Felipe was going to be out for the season. With Franks out, the Florida Gators would need a quarterback to come in and step up and lead the team back to victory. And at the time, I know for a fact I wasn't the only Florida fan saying this, but a lot of the fan base actually wanted Emory Jones, a young dual-threat quarterback who was a 4-star recruit in the Gators 2018 recruiting class, to come into the game and take over. But there's a reason me and all of you are not coaches, because if Dan Mullen would have made that decision to put Emory Jones in instead of Kyle Trask, who knows how differently this 2019 season could have gone for the Gators. Thankfully, Dan Mullen didn't read YouTube comments and made the right decision to put in the older, more experienced quarterback Kyle Trask. It had been a long time coming, but Kyle Trask's patience had finally paid off. For better or for worse, he was getting thrown into a high leverage situation, down by 11 on the road with the hostile Kentucky crowd preying on his downfall. But Trask was calm and cool, so he would step into the game and focus on the Trask at hand, leaving Kroger Field with a win.
Grease, you referenced that earlier. Second down and 2. Throwing and completing sideline. Good protection for Trask. And a wide open Van Jefferson with some targeting. See if Trask can take advantage of that. Another quick throw to Van from the 8. Trask trying to keep it, then pitches back to Pirine in for the touchdown. Contest. Molly's on the committee, right? Quick throw out of the end zone. Trask puts some air underneath that one and completes to Freddie Swain. Found a little seam to Kyle Pitts. Trying to rip up. Trask gonna keep it, and the lane opened up wide for him. Untouched. Kyle on the way. No good. Kentucky's trying to get the football back. Give it to the first man through Josh Hammond. Sideline and running away from people. Josh Hammond will not be denied. 76 yards for the touchdown. There are no flags. Kaiir Elam on the pick.
What Kyle Trask managed to do that night against Kentucky was the stuff of a legend, as he would come in and go 9 for 13, throwing for 126 yards and leading the Gators down the field twice for 2 60-plus yard drives, one which ended with some phenomenal ball handling pause from Kyle Trask, as he made an awesome read on the option and got the ball to Pirine for the 8-yard touchdown. And on the game-winning drive, he would make big-time throw after big-time throw, and eventually score the game-winning touchdown on a 4-yard run. Florida would win the game 29-21, and it was safe to say Kyle Trask had earned the starting job. Now sitting at 2-0, Trask and the Gators were ranked within the top 10 and was coming up on a big rivalry game versus them boys up in Knoxville, the Tennessee Volunteers. This was a huge game for the Florida Gators, and to be honest, an even bigger game for the Gators' new starting quarterback, Kyle Trask, as this would be his first start in 7 years, which sounds absolutely crazy coming out of my mouth, but it's the truth. Regardless, Kyle Trask had waited for his opportunity to shine, and he would get his opportunity on a national televised game against the Volunteers.
A great way to start. And here's Trask to throw for the first time. Has all day. He'll unload a deep ball. Looking for Grimes. Underthrown and adjusted to. He's looking towards the end zone here to Kyle Pitts. And the tight end finds the goal line chalk. Here comes a blitz. It's picked up. High throw over the middle. Perfectly executed. Play action for Trask. Floating one towards Swain in the end zone. Touchdown.
In his first start in over 7 years, Kyle Trask would come out and absolutely torch the Tennessee Volunteers. An SEC defense, by the way, which makes his performance even more impressive, as Trask would go 20 for 28, throwing for 293 yards with 2 touchdowns, in a dominant win against Tennessee 34-3. Now, while he played pretty amazing in his first ever start, there was still a lot of room for improvement, as Trask did throw 2 interceptions in this game. And while 2 turnovers might fly against a team like Tennessee, no offense by the way to Vol Nation, because as I'm recording this video, my Florida Gators, after playing 4 quarters of Billy Ball against the Vols, lost in overtime, so I already know we suck. You don't gotta say anything. Back to Trask. Like I was saying, turnovers wouldn't cut it against the other SEC schools, so Trask would have to hit the lab and correct his mistakes. Fortunately for Trask and the Gators, after their rivalry game against the Vols, they would get to play against FCS school Townsend and get to work on some things they felt they could improve on as a team. With that being said, it should be pretty obvious that Florida won, as Kyle Trask would play nearly flawless in a 38-0 win, going 18 for 20 with 188 passing yards with 2 touchdowns. Florida was now sitting at 4-0 and ranked in the top 10. Kyle Trask was gaining national attention, and his story was starting to spread like a 305's legs. The college football world was being put on notice, but as always, there were the skeptics that would say Trask hasn't faced any real defenses yet, or he hasn't played a legit team yet, etc. All that chatter could be put to rest though, as Kyle Trask and the Florida Gators' next matchup was against the 5-0 7th ranked Auburn Tigers, led by a freshman phenom named Bo Nix at quarterback, who would go on to be a first-round NFL draft pick. Also, I have to mention that around this time, Auburn was one of those teams this year who was battling for the title of the best defense in the country, so Kyle Trask was really going to be tested in this matchup. Oh yeah, and to even add more stakes to this game, it was the college football game of the week, and College Game Day was coming to Gainesville to host this huge early season match. Would the legend of Kyle Trask continue to grow?
If you put anything on your head outside of the gate, I think I'm going to have to hit you in your jaw.
As a former Florida State player and coach, I faced the Gators for a long, long time. Listen to this. 61 years ago, 61, I coached in the first ever Florida State game.
Wow, 61?
And the Gators won.
Gators won.
I haven't been a fan of theirs ever since. But, sweetheart, this pick is strictly business. Give me that get ahead. Hey!
Evan McPherson will kick it off. Noah Igbenogany back deep with Matthew Hill for Auburn. Here we go from three wideouts to Trask's right. He goes right down the middle and throws a strike to Swain. Swain might be on his way. Say goodbye, Freddie. Touchdown. Look out. That time they get to Trask and the ball pops out at the end. Still free. Let's see who's on it. Auburn's got the football. From 48. Can't do it any better than that. Number 41. Give it to Pierce. And ball is out and Auburn's got it. Ledbetter to hold. Carlson's kick up and good. High wobbly kick. Tuck. Tell everybody to get out of the way. Oh, and it hit him. I think everybody's scrambling for the ball. It's still loose. At the 3-yard line, I think Florida's got the football. Just before the clock expired. Trask hit from behind. The ball is out. Derek Brown scoops it for Auburn. The big fella going down the sideline, showing his speed. Whoops.
Oh my goodness.
The Turk Monster got him. Don't weigh 318 pounds. Nix double pumps, throws a streak down the sideline. It's intercepted by Florida. Sean Davis going the other way. Still on his feet. For Kyle Trask to throw across the middle, complete. It's a Florida touchdown. Out of the Gators. Bo Nix off play action, steps up, going deep. Out there's got a man. Touchdown, Seth Williams. And it's a beauty. Up top. 4-man rush. Nix to the end zone. Intercepted by Florida. And it's Donovan Steiner, and he threw it right to him. Here, too. Trask. And he's hit. Ball is out. The big fella's got it again. Derek Brown. Blitz off the corner. Nix. They're giving chase, and he's going the wrong way and down way back at the 41-yard line.
Call that, so you really get like an extra half second there.
Perfect. Here's a bounce out by P. Ryan. LaMichael P. Ryan tight ropes the sideline. He's going to take it for the Gator touchdown. 88 yards.
Man, I remember watching this game like it was yesterday. If I had to make a list of my top 10 Florida Gator games of all time, this game would definitely make that list. Okay, I know, you didn't click a Watch Mojo video, so you don't care about my top 10 Florida Gators games of all time. Unless you want me to make that video, let me know down below in the comments. Back to Trask and the Florida Gators though. This win versus Auburn was huge, and the whole entire Gator squad stepped up and brought their A game. I mean, they high-key had to. Florida literally turned the ball over 4 times, all on fumbles. And if you watched the game live back in 2019, you knew that this Gators offensive line was Swiss cheese, as Kyle Trask was facing pressure and getting knocked down all game long, as he would lose and fumble the pill 3 times. But even with all that happening, Florida still managed to pull off the win in the swamp 24-13, as Kyle Trask would go 19 for 31 through the air, throwing for 234 yards with 2 touchdowns. And I can't say this enough, this Auburn defense was elite, probably the best in the country, as they would have 4 defensive players selected in that year's draft, 2 of those coming in the first round. And our guy Kyle Trask was able to stand in the pocket against defensive linemen built like bosses from Dark Souls and hit his targets. Also, before I move on from this game, I have to shout out the Gators defense as well, as they would pick off Bo Nix 3 times and force him to finish the game with an awful quarterback rating of 17.1. Now sitting at 6-0 and ranked as the 7th best team in the country, Kyle Trask and the Florida Gators were coming off a huge win, but sadly would not have much time to celebrate it, because Florida and Trask would have to lock back in for a huge game, maybe even more so than their last matchup. You're probably thinking, what game could be bigger than a top 10 matchup that was the College Game Day game of the week? Well, the answer to that question is simple. A top 7 matchup that would also be the College Game Day game of the week, hosted at Death Valley against the 5th ranked LSU Tigers, led by the future first overall draft pick Joe Burrow, a top 10 current day NFL wide receiver Jamar Chase, and a defense loaded with first round talent. Kyle Trask had already proved a lot of the doubters wrong after that Auburn win, but there were still football critics saying that Florida only beat Auburn because of a couple of unlucky bounces. All of that would be put to rest after this shootout in Death Valley.
This week,
So, what are you going to say this week?
I say very little.
Very little.
I just listen to this.
They're playing fast in the red zone. Burrow zips it across the middle. Caught! Touchdown! Jamar Chase! Trask, play action. Surveys, flips it across the middle. Back in the...
Looks like he's covered.
Burrow, pump fakes, scanning the end zone, rolling out, fires a dart. Caught! Is it a touchdown? Jefferson was right in the pylon, and he did get it. Edwards-Helaire, big crease, busted to the open, down the sidelines, touchdown. Trask looking to his left, zips it short into heavy traffic, caught for a touchdown. Trask pumps, delivers, touchdown. Option look, Trask, slammed to the ground by Chason. LSU makes a stand, and they're going to survive tonight in Death Valley.
I just want to say, this game from the Florida Gators was one of the hardest fought games I've ever seen from a Florida team led by Dan Mullen, a head coach. Even though the Gators would lose 42-28 to the LSU Tigers, Florida gave it everything they had. And I may be biased, call me out down below in the comments if this is my Gator bias talking, but Kyle Trask gave Joe Burrow one of his toughest battles of the season, as Trask would throw for 310 yards with 3 passing touchdowns. And I just have to mention this game versus LSU was Kyle Trask's first ever road start in college, and he had to play at arguably the best home field advantage in sports, Death Valley. And to add even more legs to Kyle Trask's parlay, he also was playing against, hear me out, probably against one of the best ever college football teams ever assembled. Leave your mean comments now, but for real, this 2019 LSU squad was absolutely loaded, and I hate LSU a lot, but I gotta keep it a bean. That year they were something special, and guess what? A quarterback from Florida who nobody expected anything from at the beginning of the season probably had the best quarterback duel with the future #1 pick Joe Burrow out of any other college quarterback that Burrow faced that year. And me saying that is crazy, because here are some of the quarterbacks Burrow would face that year. Jordan Love, current quarterback of the Packers; Bo Nix, first round draft pick of the Denver Broncos; Tua Tagovailoa, a quarterback who has led the NFL in passing yards; Jalen Hurts, a quarterback who led the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl berth; and finally another first overall pick in Trevor Lawrence. And yeah, I said Kyle Trask had the best duel with Joe Burrow that season, if you ask me. After the loss to LSU, because of how good the Gators performed, they would only drop 2 spots in the AP polls. Now sitting at 6-1, ranked 9th in the country, Trask and the Gators were in a prime position to steal the SEC East crown from Georgia, as both teams had one loss and would be facing each other soon in a huge conference matchup. But before that, Florida and Trask had to take care of business on the road against the South Carolina Cop Cox. Pause. The game would go back and forth all the way until the fourth quarter, where Kyle Trask would take over and throw 3 passing touchdowns to pull away from the Cox. Florida would win 38-27, and Kyle Trask would throw for 200 yards with 4 touchdowns, bringing the Gators' record to 7-1 and their ranking in the polls to the 6th spot. Now sitting at the 6th spot and being a real threat to make the college football playoffs, the Florida Gators and Kyle Trask were somewhat becoming clouded in the college football world. And what are some of the benefits of becoming clouded? Well, obviously the clouded people get invited to all the lit parties, and Kyle Trask in Florida just happened to be invited to an upcoming Darty being held in Jacksonville, Florida at 3:30 p.m. More specifically, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party against the 6-1 8th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Jokes aside, this game was massive because as of late, I'd say the Florida Gators have developed a little brother complex to Georgia. Let's be real, Gator Nation, the Bulldogs have been whooping on us as of late, but we might have finally found our secret weapon, our trump card, Kyle Trask. Coming into this game, the Gators offense was buzzing with Kyle behind center. Was this Florida's chance to dethrone the kings of the SEC East, the Georgia Bulldogs?
As you see right down the goalpost, Bellinger. Quick toss, and that's a good one. Complete. Play action. Trask got it. To Pitts again. And another first down. This will be a 30-yard attempt to try to put Georgia on the board first. And he's got it. Third to go. Play fake. Fraud throws out in the flat. Completes it. It is a touchdown. A slot to the left side. Trask down the middle. And caught by Pitts off his shoe tops. And he's on the run all the way up. Trask play action. Deep middle again. And again he's got his man. Kick is up to stretch the Georgia lead back to 10. The kicker is and Field stop the RPO. They fake the handoff to P-Ryan. The throw is low, but it's caught. They fake it to P-Ryan. Trask is in trouble. Got away and throws to the end zone. Flag is down. It's a touchdown. 4th and 2. Quick throw, wide out screen. Got it complete. Punched in tight at the 2-yard line. Play fake to P-Ryan. The throw. Touchdown, Freddie Swain. And a knee. 37. DeAndre Swift, the stiff arm, is going the wrong way. Broke 2 tackles and stays in bounds.
Game's over. They could have just took a knee, but they killed a little bit more time.
Florida and Kyle Trask fought hard against the Bulldogs, but were just outmatched by a better and more talented team, losing the game 24-17. Kyle Trask did play pretty good though against an absolutely elite defense, going 21 for 33, throwing for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. But like I already said, this year just wasn't the Gators' year to beat the Bulldogs. Now sitting at 7-2 and dropping in the polls to the 10th spot, the Florida Gators and Kyle Trask would end their regular season off on a 3-game winning streak, winning against the Vanderbilt Commodores 56-0 in a game that would see Kyle Trask throw for 363 yards with 3 touchdowns, 23-6 against the Missouri Tigers where Kyle Trask would throw for 282 yards and pass for 2 touchdowns, and finally to end the regular season an absolute spanking against the Florida State Seminoles 40-17, where Trask would torch the Noles defense for 343 yards and 3 touchdowns. Florida was now sitting at 10-2. Kyle Trask, a backup quarterback who barely had any in-game experience coming into the year, led the Florida Gators to their best record since 2012. All that was left for Trask and the Gators was to take home the Orange Bowl against Virginia, a game I had the privilege of attending with my grandparents and girlfriend at the time. Could Kyle Trask finish off this magical season with a New Year's Six bowl game win?
A bit far-fetched to play in the Orange Bowl at a New Year's Six bowl. But here we go. A lot of durable, consistent play. They do try to go to the ground game, and there it is. LaMichael Pirine breaking away down the left sideline. That's Joe Reed in motion. Perkins has time, takes a shot, end zone, caught, touchdown. Some pressure for Virginia. Trask able to unload and complete. The Pirine out of the backfield. Motion, top of your screen. Some extra late pressure for Florida. Perkins has to secure the football, then throws for the end zone. It is caught. It's Dubois for a touchdown. Instead, it's Trask running into the end zone.
Florida and Kyle Trask would defeat Virginia in the Orange Bowl 36-28 in a game that saw Trask throwing for 305 yards with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, bringing the Florida Gators' final record on the season to 11-2. To be honest, when I look back at this season as a Gators fan, it's so crazy to me how Trask was able to lead Florida to an 11-2 record in the toughest conference in sports. Before I end this video, let's take a look at Kyle Trask's season stats. Trask would throw for 2,941 yards with 25 touchdowns and would also add 4 touchdowns on the ground. And I'm just gonna say it, his stats don't really reflect how impressive he was this year. If you ask me, I think the best thing Trask contributed this year to the Gators was his calm demeanor and ability to just be a gamer and let his actions on the field speak for himself. But that's gonna just about do it for this video. Make sure to comment down below any other players or teams you want me to cover. I'm out.